I used to call funny things. But it's bad. I used to cry until I tell her that I will. So Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home?
Ah, smell that air. What are you on about? It's just air, isn't it? Just air? Oh no, young girl. This is the air of learning, the atmosphere of erudition, the oxygen of wisdom. Oh yes, this is the place to be. Where are we again? Cambridge, England, Earth. And why have we come here? I told you. We've come back to my old college, which is St. John's, here in Cambridge, to visit my old professor, who, when nobody was looking, shut the door, flipped the bookcases around, and it became a TARDIS, and the rooms would fly through time and space. But he's retired now, and he lives here as part of a permanent residence for the retired Time Lords. Can Time Lords come here to retire? Oh yes, a Time Lord's place of residence is the place they choose to retire in. Some choose Earth and decide to live amongst the population. And one day, that will be you. Hey, watch it, young lady. I'm only 941. There's still life in me yet. Far off from retirement. Shall we go in? Yes, we shall. Oh, Professor. What are you doing? There's no cause for panic, Stephanie. The procedure will be over soon. I can't feel my legs. My arms. I can't move. I apologise for disabling you. The numbness will wear off. Now hold still. This won't hurt a bit. No! 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 Come on, Pip, keep up. Anyone would think you're embarrassed to be seen with me. You walk too fast. Anyway, we seem to be walking around randomly. We are looking for a sign with an arrow on it saying Vice-Chancellor on it. Is that where we'll find your friend? No, it'll mean that we're on the right track. I haven't been here for a while, so there's certain things one needs to familiarise himself with. Well, why don't we just ask somebody for directions? Because, my dear Pip, we do not require directions. His room is opposite the black and white building beside the Vice-Chancellor's gate. I know it when I see it. Right, there's a sort of garden with a flower bed. Well, come on, Pip. What are you waiting for? Christmas? That's the first stage successful. Oh, my head. Oh God, my head. You'll recover shortly. But for now, you must rest before moving on to the next stage of processing. Stage 2 of processing can now begin. The analysis of the brain. See? Oh, I see what you mean now. Yes, well, this is the place. Now, if he's still here, this should be the right room. Oh, that's funny. No answer. Maybe he's out. It's not like him. He would have left a note. What are you doing? Just checking. Aha! I notice he still leaves a spare key under the doormat. Well, I'm sure he won't mind if we let ourselves in and stay for a little while. If he's out, we'll just wait until he comes back. Are you coming? Can't exactly say no, can I? I'll put the kettle on. The door, Pip. Right. Wow, nice place he's got here. Yes, well, it's been a while since I've been here, but yes, it's very apt. I see he still keeps the books in alphabetical order, every 1,849 of them. What made you want to come back here and meet up with the Professor? Just for a chat. I haven't seen him in a while, and more often than most people lose touch with one another, and they always say, "Oh, we should keep in touch," but they never do. I wanted to stop up and have a quick cup of tea and talk about the good old days, where one time in the chemistry lab we were trying out formulas of compatible compounds, and we thought what would happen to see if we mixed ulsterine with OD60, which is a sea fungi found in the close currents of the Gulf Stream, which is used to make dog food of all things. Doctor, this sounds very boring. It's not boring, it's very interesting. Well then, what happened? We blew up the whole science lab. Really? Yep. Those were the days. Oh! Kettle's boiling. I don't hear anything. It's a scientifically engineered kettle, which is not from this planet. It's a sensitive kettle, which means it boils water just to the right temperature and then stops abruptly. Isn't that what a normal kettle does? Yes, it functions in the same way as a normal kettle does, only it doesn't let off steam and it doesn't whistle either. It also doesn't waste energy, or if it does, the energy just gets recycled into the robotic dishwasher. You mean to say that the Professor keeps all this cool techie stuff in his room? Wicked. What else has he got? A knife that toasts bread while you're slicing it? Oh no, such a thing hasn't been invented yet. Actually, that sounds like a good idea. You should write that down. You'd make a millionaire by the time you're 30. Well, I'm 24 now, so I've only got 6 years. Oh, hold up. I think someone's back. Hello. Can I help you? Hello, Professor. It's nice to be reacquainted with an old friend. Oh, Doctor! How splendid to see you! Professor, this is Pip, my latest companion, although she's not just that, she's my friend too. Are you staying long, or is this just a passing visit? No, Professor, we have the whole afternoon. Oh, good, good. Well, you sit there, and I'll make the tea. The kettle's already boiled. All right. I'm sorry I wasn't here to greet you. I had to go out. I was out of baked beans, and the shop didn't have any, but what I managed to do was I travelled back in time to yesterday, and got the last can just before they sold out. Now, who's for tea? Stephanie? Stephanie? Stephanie, can you hear me? What? Where am I? Look at me, Stephanie. I need you to be focused. What happened? How did I get here? It's just the anaesthetic I gave you. It's made you feel lightheaded. You must take the recovery slowly, otherwise there could be damage to some of the brain cells. Now listen to me carefully and obey my instructions. You have a physics class in B301 in 20 minutes. You are to go to that class and act as if nothing has changed. Once the class is finished, you will return to me in my laboratory and begin work using the information you have collected. Do you understand? It is important that you do this, as we have short of time. Do you understand? Yes. Then go. This is lovely lemon cake, Professor. Oh, I'm glad you think so. But, Doctor, whilst you're here, I wonder if you could help me with a little problem. Oh, really? What? It's the students. Some of them have been acting suspiciously. How do you mean by suspiciously? Well, a boy in physics class expressed knowledge way beyond planet Earth. For example, in one of the classes which I just so happened to be sitting in, the teacher was stating 2 identical strips of nylon are charged with a static electricity and are hung from a string so they could swing freely. The class was asked what would happen if they were brought near each other. One of the members of the classes put their hand up and said they'd repel each other because they used the same charge, which of course was correct. The class was then asked another question: a coiled piece of nicron wire and place it in a glass of water. I turn on the electricity to see the water temperature is affected. The question was this: how do I measure the electrical power going into the coil? The same boy raised his hand, and seeing as no one else in the class was going to answer the question, instead, the question then went to him, and his answer was said, you use an AMBD, which is an ammeter and voltmeter. It didn't matter what this student was asked, he always seemed to come up with the correct answer. He was calculating some of the equations beyond even my understanding, and he was still correct. I was amazed. So amazed, in fact, that I felt something was not right. Well, you're right to think something suspicious about this, Professor. A student who possesses knowledge way beyond planet Earth is certainly a matter of cause and concern. I'm glad you brought this to my attention. So what can we do? We can go undercover here at the university and find out how exactly the students are getting their extended knowledge. Oh, I don't know if that's such a good idea. No, Pip, I have a cunning plan. So, you know what to do. Yes, from what the professor has told us, you'll follow the boy in the green jacket and you'll go on my signal. Excellent. And you know when to go, when the bell rings. Right. Excellent. I think. Alright, let's do this. Go, Pip. I feel as if I've been hit on the back of the head, because you have. Hello, Doctor. Well, well, well. The Vixen. You don't seem too surprised to see me. I'm not. I should have guessed this all pinned down to you. This is exactly the type of facade. Why am I tied up? I apologise for restraining you, but it seemed necessary considering that you could get quite violent. A likely possibility. So, it's you who's been making the students cleverer. Only the select few, the ones with the scientific comprehension to help me conduct my experiment. Which is, wouldn't you like to know? Don't tease me. I want to know, so just tell me. Wait, are those canisters of M42? M42 that can be used as explosive devices? A substantial quantity of it, yes. Yes, you're correct. It's not rocket science. Or is it? Don't play dumb with me. Alright, alright. I'm feeling generous. I'll show you my little experiment. Observe. That's a giant laser cannon. What's going on? You brainwashed some of the brightest minds in the university to help you build a laser cannon, but what for? Let me tell you. Over here is the moon, and once a month the moon reaches a point where it's closest to the Earth, lunar perigee, which in this circumstances happens to be at 12:17 tomorrow afternoon. So that's when you plan to aim your laser beam at the moon and blow it up. You're close, Doctor, but not quite. You see, it's not a laser beam at all. It's a tractor beam. Oh, I see. How interesting. And very clever. I've calculated down to the last detail that if a powerful tractor beam was shot at the moon at the exact point during lunar perigee, it would move the moon into another orbit. Move the moon into another orbit? But why should you want to do that? Oh, that's quite simple. You see, all I have to do is modify the moon's orbit ever so slightly, and the tide levels on the eastern seaboard rise 8 feet. Move the moon over here. The currents of the warm California suddenly become ice cold. Summer, as people of this planet know it, will become a thing of the past. You'll take Earth back to the next ice age. This monstrosity of a plan would give you the ability to change the order of creation. The best scientific experiment ever conducted. Yes, but I know the result of what would happen to Earth if you got what you wanted. I can't let you mess about with the planet's climate. Just try and stop me. There is one more thing that is left unclear. I'd like to know how you control the students. Oh, that's very simple. With these, I planted them inside their heads, and their brains respond to me on radio waves emitted by this control box. You've really thought this whole diabolical scheme through, haven't you? I'd like to see you try and stop me. That's just what I intend to do. Look, why don't you release your control over these poor students? Don't be ridiculous. I'm running a tight schedule. Lunar perigee is tomorrow. These are human beings, Vixen. Living creatures who have done you no harm. Oh yeah, try telling that to all the pigs and cows and sheep sent to the slaughterhouse, just to satisfy these oafs' taste buds. Enlighten me, Doctor. Tell me, do these people care about the lesser species when they stick their teeth into a beef burger or a bacon sandwich? That's just the rules of nature. Humans are on the top of the food chain. Yes, but who made the rules of nature? Who decided that? Yes, just as I thought. You can't answer that question. Well, I choose to change the laws of nature rather dramatically. And it is going to happen at 12:17 tomorrow. And don't think I'm letting you go. I've got you right where I want you, and you will not interfere with my plan. I've got you right where I want you, and you will not interfere with my plan. This doesn't sound good, Professor, but what can we do? We need to try and save the Doctor and stop this Vixen person before it's too late. I know what you're saying is right, my girl, but I just can't. I'm supposed to be retired. I came here to get away from all this sort of thing. And think of this as your last hurrah. Help me help the Doctor. Come on, Professor. Millions of innocent people are going to die tomorrow if we don't. Well, all right. Good. Right. I think I've got a plan. The work isn't happening fast enough. Hurry up! You'll get nowhere by bullying them, even if they are under your control. They'll work because I tell them to. If you push those poor students any further, they'll crack under the pressure. They've had no sleep and nothing to drink and eat for hours. They need rest and energy. The chip that I have planted in their brains is robotic. It will keep the brain functioning and will never wear out. As long as it keeps telling their brains to work, they will still work. My knots are a little tight. Look, why don't you release me? No, not until the experiment is complete, and it's far too late for you to do anything about it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to check the energy readings for the laser beam. Psst. Psst. Doctor. Pip! Thank goodness. Are you alright? Never mind about me. I'm timing you before she gets back. Me and the Professor overheard everything on the recorder. Good. That'll save me time from having to explain what's going on. We know the Vixen has a laser cannon aimed at the moon and that she is going to shift the Earth's orbit in about 47 minutes. So what do we do? Well, firstly, we need to save those poor students she has working for her like mindless slaves. We've got to try and get hold of the Vixen control box and break the radiophonic connection. But how? She always carries it round with her. Have you finished untying me, Pip? Just your arms. Oh, thank you, Pip, that's much better. It's alright, I got this. Now then. I got just the thing to help us in getting that control box. What? We're going to try and escape with this. What is it? Ammonium sulfide. Ammonium sulfide? That's just a stink bomb. Yes, it is a stink bomb. What use is that? When dispersed, it creates a sort of gas. It's harmless to humans, but to aliens very possibly deadly. We'll use it to create a distraction, and in the struggle, grab the control box and make a run for it. Oh, she's coming back! Hide! Who are you talking to? No one. It sounds as if you were talking to someone. Was I? I suppose I was talking to myself. Well, one might think you're up to something. Look, I've been thinking over things and, well, your little plan. I've just decided for myself that there really is no way I can stop you. Good. No, I'm serious. I've battled Daleks, Cybermen, Centaurans, Ice Warriors and all manner of space thuggery. And I've always managed to rumble their plans. I've even managed to defeat the Master from time to time. But you've rumbled me, Vixen. You have actually beaten me. Something I never thought I'd be able to say. But yes, I'm afraid I must admit it. You've rendered me unconscious, tied me up to a chair, and I'm left helpless to do anything, except sit back and watch you destroy the Earth. Are you done? I have a schedule to keep to, and I'm tired of hearing your voice jabber on all day. I'm sorry. I was just trying to point out... Well, don't. Just shut up, I'm busy. Well, by the way... What's that over there? What? Now! Run, Pip! Did you get it? Oh, yes. Oh, good. Now we've got it, what are we going to do with it? Well, reprogram it, of course, tell the students to stop what they're doing, walk out and go to bed and get a well-earned nap. I can't remove the computer chip in their heads, unfortunately. But what I can do is give them one last order. But with the computer chip in their heads, they'll become like super students. Yes, I think so. It'll boost their intelligence above anything else, and it may reduce their hours of sleep, but they should more or less maintain the same old human habits as they did before. Now then, that's done. They should stop now. And they have. Perfect. They've walked out and gone back to their halls of residence to go and sleep for a while. When they wake up, they'll forget this whole business ever occurred, as if it was a bad dream. Very clever, Doctor. But you might have saved the students, but you have not stopped my plan. There is enough M42 to power the laser cannon. I can still fire it at the moon, which is exactly what I'm going to do in the next 3 minutes. Oh no, you don't! Pip, don't! She'll kill you! Get off me! Ah! Damn it! All that hard work for nothing! Pip? Come on, Pip, don't die on me. Come on, wake up! Come on, Pip. Ah, Pip. Pip, are you alright? Just about. Where's the Vixen? She got away. I hope she never comes back. That was a very stupid thing you did. She could have killed you. Sorry, I was just so angry. Yes, I know. But it's alright. Your tackling her meant she was 1 minute late from delivering her tractor beam. She did not succeed in altering the moon's orbit. Everyone's safe because of you. Really? Really? You saved the world, Pip. Doctor? Yes? Can we get out of here and go somewhere else? My thoughts exactly. Come on. We'll stop up at the professor for a cup of tea and then head off. That sounds good. You know, there's one thing that I do feel still annoyed about. What's that? After all the trouble she's caused, the Vixen managed to escape in her TARDIS. I wouldn't worry about it too much, Professor. I'm sure we'll see the Vixen again very soon. Thank you for the tea and cakes. It's been delightful catching up. Goodbye, Doctor. Cheerio, Professor. Come along, Pip. Goodbye. Goodbye, my dear. Oh well. Back to retirement.